Last week we welcomed a couple new names to the channel, and this week we're welcoming back one of the hottest new names in the craft beer land, as the handful of reviews I've already done for them will attest, and in fact the handful I've had outside that were just as good. Their pails especially have been hitting the mark, so I'm more than happy to crack into another from Liverpool's Azvex. As we're all too aware, Azvex was born from Neon Raptor founder Adam Henderson. They have taken the craft world by storm this past 6 months or so, and for me in particular, it's been their regular pale ale that's really been lighting things up, which is something of a welcome relief in this age of the impy. So today we're playing with some holographic principles. A borderline session hazy pale weighing in at 3.7%. Double dry hopped with the classic Citra and one of my personal favourites, the ID7. So we can hopefully expect a nice tropical sweetness and a beautiful citrus balance to this one. And having experienced a good few of their pails already, I'm expecting this to be full of flavour, hindered in no way by that mere 4% ABV. So let's project some illusions. Let's get pouring. So it was a little on the lively side. We got a big foamy white head that is quickly dissipating. And it is real tropical on the nose. Lots of pineapple really coming at you. There's a little bit of papaya in there, and almost just an ever subtle spice to it. Might just be a little stone fruity too. So there are of course some real sweet tropical notes right up top. That pineapple really at the fore, but right in behind it, a real bright limey note. So some of that citrus getting to work early. And there's some almost sweet berry notes right up in those tops also. Now, I don't know if it's that lively carbonation or that session level ABV, but it does have a real airy quality to it. It's very light and it is very, very drinkable. And it fades out with a real citrus, wheaty bitterness. Now I know this is a beer reviewer's channel, but I've got to go off piste just for a little bit, as I just got back from Daniel Kwan's brand new movie, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. And it must be said, a better movie you will not see this year. It messes with the mind, the body and the soul. And perhaps with Jackie Chan as part of it, it might have been a better movie yet. I tell you what, that held back from none of the fast, rip-roaring action. Michelle Yeoh was fantastic, Jamie Lee Curtis was brilliant too, and I've got to admit I did pop off big when James Hong hit the screen for the first time. So if you only make one trip to the cinema this year and it isn't this, you're doing yourself one hell of a disservice. And it must be said, we're starting to lose some of those sweet berry notes that were right up top. They're starting to be replaced now by some almost grapey, lychee notes, giving the brew a much more citrus and refreshing feel. And we are starting to develop some melon and grapefruit notes in those middles that are carrying on beautifully into that finish. And I tell you what, there's a subtle creaminess creeping into that finish now too. It was brewed with oats, so I'm guessing that's probably where it's coming from. And a nice old pouring of black tea. And I tell you what, for a mere session pale, these levels of development and these flavours really are quite impressive. And now we're down into the final third. It has to be said, this sure as hell punches well above its weight. So many big, bold, and ever-developing flavors, blending in and out seamlessly. From those very early sweet notes of berries and pineapple, to the more dominating citrus ones of lime, grapefruit, and lychee, with a complex yet well-blended finish. As wheaty and subtly creamy and even tea notes start to tickle away in the tail, you just have to take your hats off to the Azvex team. I said before that their regular standard pails are to be respected. This right here is to be feared, as I've had myself plenty of dippers and tippers that can't come close to what's going on here. In fact, it's got to the point that I don't even believe they're ABVs anymore. There is no way a sub 4%er can be this intense. So I can only leave you with 2 gems of advice. Go see that movie. And if you already have, go check out his previous movie, The Swiss Army Man, which is all sorts of wild, but in a slightly different way. And you'll probably never watch the Harry Potters in the same light again. And of course, if you see one of Azvex pails in the fridge, pick 'em up. All of them.